Welcome to Sports Talkin' right here on SWKS Radio. I'm Cray.
And I'm still Phil, and this time, two Pete's. I'm in the K95 studio twice in a row.
I know. I don't think you've ever been in one place two times in a row.
I know. And I just got travel plans for mid-July. I'll be going back to the East Coast to Washington, D.C. The boys are calling me to go back to D.C. We need some help at the White House.
Well, what's going on in D.C.?
Oh, we're just talking more about this AM and Every Vehicle Act. So we'll be back in Washington talking to our representatives about making sure that people keep their AM radios. And if you're an AM radio listener and you're on this right now, call your congressman or call your senator and let them know. Get this thing done. Get it attached to a bill and get it done. I know that was a free plug. I wasn't planning on talking about that. So we got a lot to talk about, Cray. I know a lot of people might be saying, oh, it's not football season and there's nothing to talk about. Oh my gosh, there's a ton to talk about.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Let's lead with the NBA. I know you're just foaming at the mouth to talk about Mr. Peterson, who went not number one. He was not number one.
Not number one.
So I think technically I win. I win that bet.
I think I told you the day before on Monday. Then I was like, oh, he's going number one. No doubt about it. I thought A.J. DeBonza would somehow fall to Utah. You know, being that Utah kid, he went to BYU, probably wanted to stay in state is kind of what he was hinting at. Didn't matter. A.J. DeBonza, number one overall. He is a Washington Wizards, and this Wizards team could potentially be fun, Phil. I'm looking at Trae Young, A.J. DeBonza, and then they also have Anthony Davis on this team. They're going to be fun, but that's not what I want to talk about. Oh, he went number one. That's awesome. Darren Peterson went two. This Utah Jazz team is young, and Darren Peterson is by far and away the best player in this draft, even though he went number two. Who cares? Phil, we've gone on and on and on about this kid being the best player in the draft, and you don't buy it, you don't believe it, but he's a 3-level scorer. He's a great defender. He is exactly what a modern-day guard needs to be in the NBA, and that's be able to score the basketball whenever, from wherever. He does that better than anybody else. You saw that in college, as even though he wasn't a top leader in minutes, he was a top leader in points per game. I'm pretty sure he finished the year in third behind DeBonza and behind P.J. Haggerty of K-State. Now, a lot of people are looking at this and saying, well, his health wasn't great. Well, a lot of things came out saying it was creatine that was messing him up. Creatine overdose, and I get it. Probably should have had some trainers in there helping him a little bit more than he would have liked to admit. But Phil, he's a kid. You know, and that's the thing we got to remember. This is an 18-year-old kid trying to push himself to be the best athlete he can possibly be. And at the D1 level at Kansas University, you've got to push yourself pretty dang hard. I don't blame him for this situation. You think that he's just going to come in and give up on this team because that's his mindset? I don't think so. We had the argument the other day in your office. What made Kobe Kobe? Was it Kobe Bryant being named Kobe, or was it his work ethic? And I agree it was his work ethic. However, this kid, I think he's the exact same way. I want to hear what you think about it.
Tell he might be a better pro player than he is a college player. I just think college is set up to be more of a team sport than it is individual. I don't say it's not morphing into an individual player sport, which I think my critical eye or observation is that some of those coaches like Bill Self having a little bit more difficult time transitioning into that individual player style coaching rather than a team coach.
Right.
And so I think maybe, you know, again, if I'm consulting Coach Self and he's probably not going to ask me for any advice, and I don't blame you if you're not going to ask me for advice, but I would just say the guy may not have been the right choice for KU. That's all.
You could potentially say that, Phil, but again, you can't argue with production. And he was, when on the court, one of the most productive players in the NBA.
But my injection to that, sorry I interrupt, is it didn't really help the team.
But here's the thing. If one player is succeeding and the rest of the team isn't, at what point is it not on that player?
could be that the other teammates are not succeeding because of that person. Is what I'm observing. That's all. That's all.
Mhm.
I know it's a conversation that's a debatable conversation by, well, neither one's going to agree to disagree or even agree, but time will tell if he's a good NBA player or not. And I'm hopeful that I'm wrong. Hopeful that I'm wrong. It sounds like Utah is trying to build the same system like Oklahoma City has, getting youth, getting a lot of players so that they've got a 10, 7, whatever, however many year ramp to build up and get good.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely are. And again, they are extremely young. That starting five is going to look like Keontae George, who is 22 years old. He's going to be in that lineup. I think the oldest player total on this roster is Fee Mikhailo, if you remember that name, another Kansas guy, 29 years old.
Yeah.
This is a
So
young
anyway,
team.
that's all I'm saying is he might be just a better pro player, and
Mhm.
I'm a bad pro scout. I've been passed over my whole life for that job, Cray.
Well, I get it. I really do get it. But, I want to visit back to the debate that you kind of set up right there. At what point does it not fall on that player? The NFL does a great job of making it look like it is the quarterback's team no matter what. If we go back to that 2019 AFC Championship game where the Patriots beat the Kansas City Chiefs 37-31,
You always got to bring that one up.
I do have to bring that one up. I do. But that game wasn't on Mahomes. He threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. However, the Chiefs fell. He's the face of the team.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
is that on Mahomes or is that on Kansas City?
Well, if you go to the internet and the Chiefs guys that don't understand sports, they blamed it on the referee. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I get it. It's a team, but so then the answer is the team lost, not Mahomes. The team
Exactly.
lost. Never does Mahomes lose. It's always the team.
Mm-hmm. But Darren Peterson was put in that exact same situation where they were saying, oh, this guy can't stay on the court. This guy's the problem. This guy's a team cancer.
But we never talk about Mahomes being that guy, the guy that everybody has a problem with off the court. Mahomes isn't that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know anyway. It's a fair comparison if you're going to say Mahomes carried the team or didn't carry the team versus Peterson. I think there was some internal problems with that guy, and I think it caused friction in the locker room. Time will tell. Again, I'm willing to let the guy. He might be a very good NBA player.
Mm-hmm. And
I think the NBA guys, they're beyond egos. They look at their bank account.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the last Kansas Jayhawk that was drafted that high was Josh Jackson, if you remember that name, and he really never panned out in the NBA.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm hoping there's
a kid that was drafted a couple years ago from out of Wichita, and he only played 1 year at KU. What's his name? Didn't he go to like Milwaukee or Minnesota?
Out of Wichita.
Yeah, he played at the Christian Academy. Played only KU 1 year.
Christian Braun?
No, Braun's playing for Denver.
Yep. Man, I got no idea.
More recently. He played at KU more recently, maybe 3 years ago. Somebody help us out. If this was radio, Cray, we could say, somebody give us a call and help us out, or send us a text.
Yeah. I'll get back to you with an answer on that. Phil,
maybe at the break. Okay.
I also wanted to mention, that fact that he struggled with creatine usage, and that set him back, and he was having these full body cramps, and that's really what limited him to being on the court. And I want to ask you if you think that these Division I athletes are being pushed too hard, or if that's kind of a younger, newer mindset of thinking. If you think maybe they're not being pushed hard enough, and that's what you have to do to succeed.
What do you say what do you mean when you ask pushed too hard?
I mean, these kids are taking their bodies, or at least trying to the absolute limit. I mean, you're a Division I basketball player. He's never touched creatine before. Everyone's telling him to. He's in the weight room more than he's ever been in his life. He wants to get bigger, stronger, so he can potentially go number one. And for a lot of people, that's too much. Now, I wanted to ask you, what do you think?
Man, I'm going to have to tell you my answer off camera.
I was kind of setting you up to say, hey, I know you think this is soft.
Sorry, but yeah, no, I just think back when I went to school, when I left home and went and walked on to a junior college football team at New Mexico Military Institute. I Uh, they didn't care if I was tough enough or not. They just wanted to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I couldn't handle it, whether it was creatine or in the weight room, they just wanted to know, can I depend on you? Can we depend on you? Or are you not going to make it?
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying. We'll talk about it off camera, and we might have to
Well, I
revisit
mean, I'm not ashamed of the answer. I'm just simply, I don't want to stir up that much controversy. We're not controversial, but I really do believe, I'll say it this way. So you guys that are out there wondering my opinion, I think you probably already know. I do think we're making a lot of people wimps by our reactions. I mean, did he go to college and get a box of Kleenexes? Was that the first thing he was handed? Or was he first handed a contract that said, you're going to get paid $5 million? Buck up, pal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, probably.
and you know, for you coming out here to Dodge City from the northeast corner of the state of Kansas, we didn't pay you $5 million, but we also didn't say, here's a box of Kleenexes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But that's the thing, though, is all these kids are handed money and expected, they're almost set to a higher standard, Phil.
Sure. Or set up to fail, maybe.
Yeah.
Given a lower tolerance of failure versus failure setbacks. That's a good thing. You know, I was talking to somebody else in my office today, and the story of the Bible in the beginning, the Egypt, that was their desert. And that the desert was to humble the children of Israel and make them stronger through being humble so that they can be dependent on God. That's the whole idea is you go to college, you leave your mom and dad, the confines of safety and all that. You experienced that when you went to college. You've experienced that coming out here to Dodge City. The tough win and survive, the weak go back home. And I hate to be cruel, but that's what life is. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
But I think it's too tough. You know, the minute you started paying these college athletes, you hold them to a higher standard. And you expect the same thing that you expect from professional league players.
Sure. Absolutely. And if you can't make it, I think you need to be kicked in the rear or something. But the other part is what I learned in college was the coaches didn't love me. My high school coaches, Coach Giff, he loved me. Coach McCain, he loved me. Coach Hunt, he loved me. Coach Pete, he didn't love me. He wanted to know, can you make weight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Coach Steckline at NMMI, he didn't care. Can you cover this guy? That's what he cared about. So I think it's more, I went to junior college. Come on already. I bet it's a lot more difficult at D1 KU or Alabama or whatever you want to talk about.
I mean,
it's got to be.
I get it. But Phil, kids coming in, true freshman, 18 years old. To be honest, you put me in that same situation when I'm 18 years old, I'm failing.
I think you're right.
Flat out, I will.
And for those guys watching that remember this, but you probably don't, Craig, it used to be freshmen could not compete in varsity sports at the college level. They had a freshman league. So you had, call it a development year, before you could even play JV. You had to play a freshman year. So a lot of kids came in, the freshman classes were bigger, and a lot of guys got college playing experience at the freshman level, but they weren't really good enough to go on after that. I think a lot of that, I don't know the history, but I think a lot of that developed into the JUCO tunnel where people started going to JUCO instead of doing that freshman year. And then they did make freshmen available.
Yeah. And I really do think that JUCO route is something we're going to see a lot more athletes take.
Yeah. Appears that that's already taken place in the D1 baseball arena.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at KU this year.
Well, OU winning the national champion, they had a lot of junior college players on their or transfers on their roster.
Mm-hmm. And we've talked about it when that rule was changed, but Phil, the fact that you can go play 2 years of JUCO ball and then go play at a 4-year university for 4 years, and those 2 JUCO years don't count,
right?
That's a huge advantage.
Well, today, compared to what it was. Yeah. And I guarantee if I would have had that opportunity, I still wouldn't have played anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Phil, we're going to dive into one more story in this NBA draft. But before we do, United Wireless, what do you know about them?
You know, we use them here at the radio station. We use their internet service, and also we have the telephone service. You know, the thing about telephones is the guarantee, am I going to stay connected? Or with the internet. Sorry. And you talked about last week about the internet at your house. I don't have the internet where I live, but I know it's very reliable.
Yeah, it definitely is reliable. So reliable, in fact, Phil, that when we go out and do remotes, there's only one place that we carry, and that's United. We take a little mobile hotspot. They can get you set up. That way, if you need to do anything for work, you can get one of these too, and you can go on the road and have no problem at all. Now, United, for a limited time, when you sign up for a new mobile wireless line and or fixed wireless internet service, you'll get free activation and 3 months of free service. What kind of, that's a great deal.
Yep. Very
You can
good
take
deal.
them absolutely anywhere. Again, United Wireless. There's a store located right here in Dodge City, or look them up, call their phone numbers. I'll tell you what, the best thing that I love about them, Phil, I was telling you about my Wi-Fi going down. I called them. They had a hotline I could call. They picked up 8 o'clock at night. The next day, I was able to go out, get a new router, get everything fixed.
Very
Who
good.
else would do that for you?
Very good. United Wireless, give them a call.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Well, we're back now. Cray, what's our next topic? Just exhausted. I'm exhausted talking about the NBA draft. Oh my
Come
God.
on. You
How much
gotta
longer do
give
we gotta
me
talk
one
about
more
this?
story on the draft. One
All
more
right.
story.
Bring it.
That is Keaton Wagler, a Kansas native. And of course, I'm going to bring this up because this hits a little close to home.
Yeah.
Kansas City kid, 5th overall. He goes to the Clippers. Now, this is awesome. Kansas recruiting obviously doesn't get enough love. And this was a kid that none of the in-state schools really took a shot at him. KU didn't take a shot at him. K-State, Wichita State even. He bets on himself. He goes to Illinois and make it to the Elite Eight.
Did they take him? I mean, meaning they recruited him, but nobody else did?
Yeah. I mean, he was getting recruiting from other schools, but no Kansas schools. Yeah.
And has Bill Self or K-State's coach, I don't even know what their name of their coach is anymore. Have they been asked, why didn't you recruit this guy?
No, I don't think they have been. But, I mean, they're going to give you, the media trained answer, quote unquote. And that's going to be, we were guard heavy in this class. We didn't have an opportunity to give him this scholarship. But that kind of led me into my next point, Phil. You take a look at K-State's football class for 2027, this upcoming next year, and then KU's football recruiting class for this upcoming year. Combined, only one player from Kansas so far, and that's Cooper Olmack from Great Bend, Kansas, signed to K-State just a few weeks ago. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And
no,
I
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think losing track of the Kansas programs is not good. Or not bringing in Kansas kid is not good for the Kansas programs. One of the things that was refreshing watching the College World Series, the men's College World Series, was that a lot of the players from North Carolina were from the state of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. And that's awesome to see. So Keaton Wagler, he was a Shawnee Missions Northwest graduate in Kansas City. Now, Phil, this was such a big deal to their school. They had a draft watch party. How many of those kids do you think are going to be fans for life or believe that anything is possible because they just saw a kid come from that high school and go and do that? That's what you need to have your name tied to. If you remember the name Zeke Mayo, he ended up transferring into KU, and he was a superstar in college basketball. He was a Lawrence kid. Everybody loved him in that town. You had people showing up in support of Zeke Mayo. You got more publicity because of that in your town. You had all of the Kansas news sites following every decision this kid made because he was a homegrown talent. And I don't think it's only because of talent you need to do it, but I also think it's the publicity you need to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the PR factor is overlooked as well, or a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like back in the good old days, when it was a good old day, I guess. You had the guys from Wichita that went to Wichita State, and they were good players, very big contributors. I've used Steve Woodbury on this call before, going to KU out of Wichita. Anytime there's a guy from the state of Kansas that plays inside one of the 4 or the 3 D1 schools, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and it draws attention to the state of Kansas as well.
Without a doubt. Phil, so I want to ask you then, you look at K-State and KU's recruiting class, and a majority of these athletes, Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So do you
Yeah.
think that there's more talent in those states, or do you think it's just a larger quantity, therefore more quality?
Yeah, I think the coaching staffs, my opinion, my son played in Texas, so I got to see Texas athletes. I got to see the caliber. And again, I don't know that the caliber of athletes better. I just think the caliber of athlete is more trained into the systems. As an example, down in Texas, the last week or even it's either this weekend or last weekend. Think about this, Craig. Today's June, what, 24th? Okay. June 24th, they're playing the 6-man state championships in the state of Texas. Okay. And we don't even know what that is in the state of Kansas. You know, they play spring ball in the state of Texas. They play spring ball in the state of Oklahoma. They have separate training facilities for the football programs at the bigger 5A schools than, and I mean, these are separate. Coppell, my son went to Coppell, which is a suburb of the Dallas market. The facilities were better by 20 times where I was familiar with in sports. They're better than Fort Hays State. And that's the difference between that Texas athlete and Kansas athlete is the facilities are bigger, better, stronger, faster. They're going to make you bigger, stronger, faster. And the kids are acclimated to the college system already, which is pretty much it's a lot more than a 2 to 3 hour time window in your mind as a kid in high school versus you go to college. It becomes about an 8 to 10 hour window of time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big difference in a kid's life. You talked about the 18-year-old going off to college. It's a big change in your life when you go from having practice for 2 hours and then maybe taping and watching film another hour at the most to no, you've got weightlifting, you've got studying film, you've got looking at playbooks, you've got walkthroughs, you've got 2 practices. And you're like, whoa, time out, coach. I'm not used to doing 10 hours a day of football. And they're like, yeah, buck up, kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then, Phil, and that's high school kids in Texas. They're used to that.
Yeah. I want to ask you then, do you think that's something Kansas should focus on?
We don't have enough kids. That's the difference. The labor pool, so to speak. And I know that may have been a wrong word, but the talent pool, and I didn't mean it in a bad way, the labor pool, meaning we're paying these athletes. The talent pool down in Texas is just bigger. You got 30 million population. In the Dallas-Fort Worth metro alone, there's maybe 8.5 million. So there's going to be a lot more kids to choose from compared to the state of Kansas. You know, the Dallas metro, just put this in your mind, everyone. The Dallas metro with 8.5 million people is bigger than the entire population of the state of Kansas by almost 3.5 times. Or excuse me, 3 times, sorry. Almost 3 times. That's a big difference. The whole state of Kansas versus a metropolitan area that's the size of I think it's the size of the state of Maine or Connecticut. I can't remember exactly, but it's a big difference. A lot of people crammed into that metro. And that's why everybody goes down there, because the emphasis in Texas is football. Like I said, they're playing 6-man football right now. My grandson, 8 years old, living in the Dallas metro. He played 6-man football as an 8-year-old, not 8th grader, 8-year-old. And he's and 2 days ago started tackle football. So he's been down there since August of last year. He's played more football in 1 year than he played in the previous 3 years in the state of Kansas in 1 year.
Yeah. Well, like you said, that's why everybody goes to Texas. You want that opportunity to get your name out there, get seen, have the opportunity to succeed. And the truth of the matter is you're not going to get that in Kansas.
Yeah. And then the other part is, Craig, you're playing against similar caliber kids. So like in Kansas, when you play on even a 5A or a 6A team, you might have 1, maybe 2 college prospects on each team. I mean, D1 prospects. You might have a bunch of D2 prospects and JUCO guys playing. Well, at the DFW, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro at the 5A level, in every single game that my son played at, there were 5, 6 guys on each team that were D1 prospects. You know, Denton Ryan, where Jake, my younger son, played, there were 4 or 5 guys that went. I mean, his quarterback for his team went to O State. and then a couple guys have gone on to play in the pros, and it's very common. So I know
Yeah.
we beat this horse a little bit hard.
That's fine, Phil. And I'll get off of the topic of recruiting in the NBA draft, but I will be willing to say this. Listen, I know you're not a huge Darren Peterson guy, so I'll tell you what. I'll give you good odds. He's got 1 to 59 odds to win Rookie of the Year, quote unquote, in the 60 players per draft. If he wins Rookie of the Year, you're buying me lunch one day. If he doesn't, take you out wherever you want to go. We got a deal on that?
I think you already owe me lunch because
I think I do. This is just a chance for me to get
number
even.
one draft.
Yeah. Just a chance to get even.
Okay, double or nothing, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Phil, I'll let you take over for a second. What do you got on your
Well,
agenda?
I said horses, so I'll go ahead and segue into that. This Saturday on the 27th is the Stephen Foster. It's at Churchill Downs. It's a mature race, so 4 years old and above. $2 million in the stakes race. It's a graded 1 stakes, which is your top. But there was 7 horses, Craig. Now it's down to 5. 5 horses. And $2 million purse. That's a big deal. Check this out, though. Out of the 5 horses, 33 combined wins out of these 5 horses. $25.7 million in prize money out of these 5 horses.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, this is a you're a stud or go home race. And basically there's one horse that doesn't have a chance. That's Willie D. I never heard of this horse. He's won $874,000. I haven't heard this horse. So White Abarrio, Sovereignty, who is your 2025 Kentucky Derby winner, as well as Horse of the Year. And then Baeza, who took third to Sovereignty, and then Magnitude. So Magnitude's won $8.5 million in prize money so far. Sovereignty's won $6 million. White Abarrio's won $8 million plus. So these are just good horses, Cray. Good horses. Which one's gonna win? I'll say this: one of the 5 is
one of the 5.
Yeah,
I mean, can you box that? There you go.
Yeah, probably.
High 5.
They might not even let you go beyond second place.
Really?
Because there's only it might be that they just let you pick one, or you only get a 1-2. I don't know. I'm just saying might. But last week, the week before, in that Ohio Derby, I was really dumb, and I got 3 of the 4. That stupid Trendsetter number 4 horse, he got in there and took third. But Desert Gate, I was kind of like this on. He took fourth, and then Oselli took second, and Chip Honcho took first. And when they finished, I looked at the final, and I'm like, God, that was a duh. Those were by far Chip Honcho and Oselli were by far the 2 better horses. The better play would have been just take those as the exacta, go 1-2 on those guys, and I did not do that. I bet the 4-pack. And that, like I said, that stupid Trendsetter came in there. I did bet the exacta. I just boxed those horses. I should have just went all in on the exacta. Should have done that.
Well, Phil, I've been looking into this race just a little bit. I knew this is something we were going to talk about this week, and Magnitude was one that I had on my radar.
Yeah.
I understand only 5 horses racing. There's only a couple that can be on your radar, but Phil, this horse is being rode by Ortiz. Like you said, $8.5 million in a prize pool winnings, and he's got 7 career wins in 13 starts. This horse is a winner.
He's a good, like I said, one of these 4 horses is going to win. White Abarrio beat Sovereignty 4 weeks ago ish in Oakland or Arkansas. And, but it was Sovereignty's first race back. He hadn't raced for a long time. So that's, there's maybe knocking the dust off. Yeah. And then Baeza. Okay. I've put money on Baeza more than once, and he's come through and pulled me through with some money, but I've always bet him to show. So if I've got a bet, I'm probably going to put money on, I'll probably go White Abarrio Magnitude. That would be my 1-2 pick, just because I think White Abarrio, he's a 7-year-old horse, and Magnitude coming off that big win in Dubai. So, but you know what I told my brother last year? Sovereignty might be the best horse I've ever seen since Secretariat. So, it's a tough race. That's going to be a tough race.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Well,
luck
Phil,
picking them.
I wanted to give you a preview of the cheat sheet for current odds right now,
Yeah.
what they look like. And this was as of yesterday, so June 23rd. Willie D, 20 to 1 odds. White Barrio, 3 to 1 odds. Sovereignty, 6 to 5 odds.
Baeza.
Baeza, thank you. 6 to 1 odds. Magnitude, 7 to 2 odds. Forged Steel, scratched.
Yeah. Yeah. The other two horses scratched that were in it. And I think it was Navajo something was the other one. So anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Willie D today is 15 to 1. White Barrow still at 3 to 1. Sovereignty 9-5. Baeza 4 to 1. And Magnitude 5 to 2. So it hadn't really changed much.
Man, there you go.
And I'll close on this. We got about 10 seconds. Magnitude is the number 2 horse on the NTRA top thoroughbreds. White Barrow's number 3 and Sovereignty's number 4. If that helps you. It's a tough pick. That's going to be a great race. I mean, this is like watching, it's like watching 3 Super Bowl teams play in the same Super Bowl, or maybe 4 Super Bowl teams play in the same Super Bowl.
Yeah. It definitely is. Phil.
So you sound more like a handicapper than me. I just sound like an old guy that tries to figure out which one's going to win.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to let you know, over your last 2 races now, only 1 miss. Only 1 miss. That's a pretty dang good hit percentage.
Yeah.
I think so.
I thank God for the luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's time for us to do a 1 minute promo for Scooters, based on my timer. And, Kara was in the studio yesterday. Kara comes in for the new promotions. And she was in the studio yesterday. And, that girl is such a professional. She could be on the radio for us. She's really good. When she gets behind the microphone, she's just very good. But they've got some great specials right now, drink specials. They got some things that are coinciding with the 4th of July, which they're not going to be short run. They'll continue through the month of August. She brought us a double chocolate muffin. And, most muffins are kind of dry.
Yeah.
This was not dry. This was soft, moist chocolate cake is what it amounts to, with chocolate chips built into it. It was really delicious. And then their drinks. I'm a big black coffee fan, so you know that. But they got all kinds, what I call foo-foo drinks, and just go check them out. The cool part is they're quick. They get you in and out. If you go through the drive-through, that's one of the things that they're looking to do. I don't know what the timer is exactly, but I know there's a timer that they train to beat. And it's pretty slow. I mean, it's an amazingly fast time from when you order to get up to your window to get your drink and get on out of there. It's a short time. So for you going to work in the morning or in lunchtime or anything, it's a great speed is what they're all about.
Yeah. 2 locations in Dodge City, of course, on Wyatt Herb and on 14th Avenue.
And for those of you guys down in Amarillo or Southwest Texas, they've got 2 stores in Amarillo as well, Scooters, and go check them out. They're great people.
Yeah. Phil, I want to talk about the Kansas City Royals. Now, this is something we haven't talked about until I said, what was that, probably a month and a half ago, that you shouldn't freak out. The wins will come naturally. They're 12 games under 500.
The wins are coming naturally, right?
Yeah.
Or did you say win, like wind?
Yeah, I mean, that I'll also go with that, sure. But it's been a slippery slope for him. Bobby Witt Jr. currently out due to an MCL sprain. We don't know what his projected time for return is. So at this point in the year, 12 games under 500, I don't want to say, this season's almost a failure, especially without your MVP caliber player playing. But it might start to trend that direction. They have strung on a couple wins now, this series that they're playing in Tampa Bay. They've looked good. And there's one guy that has really stood out for me. Jack Caglione, he made his MLB debut last season. This kid was a first baseman out of Florida, first baseman and a relief pitcher. Royals decide not to use him as that relief pitcher role, make him play offense only. And this kid has been anything besides a professional. He had never played the outfield a day in his life.
Yeah.
He's willing to make that switch, and in just 20 minor league games of playing outfield, he gets called up, and they ask him to go play in the outfield. He doesn't. No questions asked. And Phil, seems to have gotten it figured out with the bat as well. In last night's game, again, Royals won 12-5 against Tampa Bay. Jack Caglione hit 2 home runs. That is the third multi-home run game this month for the kid. Wow. And he's batting .277 on the year. He's really been the best part of this Royals lineup so far, and he's only 23 years old. I understand you don't want to call this season a bust and start looking at next year, but at what point does this Royals team just kind of need a whole reset? I hate to say it, but Salvador Perez does not look like the same guy he was 5 years ago. He's batting .200, Phil.
How old
They're
is he?
starting guys like...
Isn't he my daughter's age, like 38, 37?
I think on the money, 37, 36. Yeah. He's 36.
Okay.
Same age as my sister. That's right. Yeah. But there's starting guys that probably shouldn't be starting. Starling Marte is getting more and more playing time. I like Tyler Tolbert as a person, but with the Bobby Witt injury, he can't be an everyday starter. Do you just give up this season? Or what do you try to accomplish? The deadline's right around the corner.
Think about this, Craig. The Royals can go on a 6-game winning streak. How many they beat Tampa? They beat them
right now. They've won both games this series.
Okay, so there's 2 games. All I got to do is win 4 more, and then the 2 leaders just trickle off and lose 6. All of a sudden, you're back in the race. And in baseball, it's a season of streaks. They say.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but the AL is pretty down right now. And they don't have the face of their team in Bobby Witt Jr. I don't want to say it's over, Phil, but other guys have to step up. And so far, what we've seen from this team, it's not been Vinny Pasquantino. It's not been Salvador Perez. Who's going to be that person to step up? And I just think nobody's willing to. 2 years of eligibility. Yeah.
I mean, I'll only do it for $1.5 million.
Yeah. You think you could step into the shortstop position right now and start fielding ground balls?
I think I could hit 120.
Okay. I don't think so.
120 at the plate. I think I could take some balls and get on base for at least a chance to steal second. I'm not sure I can do that. Honest, you're going to have to probably hit opposite field for me to get to second, or in the gap. I could get from second to third, I think, from the gap. But other than that, don't count on me.
Keep an eye on this, though, Phil. I'm telling you, this Royals team pitching staff has looked solid. Offense, some players are starting to finally come to life. If they get Bobby Witt Jr. back, maybe it isn't the end of the world, but they have to have other people step up. And if not, the deadline, again, right around the corner, All-Star break coming up. Ship some guys out. Get some new ones in. You need to have a competitive team before you move downtown. That's the way I view it. Phil, well, I know you got some other stuff.
Relocation might be the solution. Hopefully that, I think that's what a lot of people hope for. You still got to put a product on the field that wins.
Yeah.
I can pretty sure where the Rockies play is downtown Denver. I'm not sure they're putting a good product on the field, and I'm not sure they're getting a lot of people in the stands because of it.
No. But that's the thing about relocation is it almost pushes the owners to put out a better product.
Well, but will they? I mean, you hope, but will they do it? Cardinals, they're downtown. They don't have a great product right now.
Yeah. Well, they do.
Denver.
They've looked phenomenal this year.
Sorry, Denver. I said the Cardinals. I'm looking at the Cardinals notes. Cardinals, and here's where I was going with that. Cardinals elevated Bill DeWitt Jr., the third, to the CEO position from president. But it's like, who cares? He's the owner's son.
So you're claiming nepotism?
It's not nepotism to that point. It's just like, okay, who cares? It's a big story, not to me. And if you're a Cardinals lover and you want to hate me, go ahead. Okay, here's a question, Craig. There have been 11, I think it's 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 actual jersey numbers retired by the Cardinals. If I say the jersey number, you get a chance to guess if you know who they are. Number one,
Okay.
you know who that was for the Cardinals?
Number 1, Ozzie Smith.
Good guess.
Yeah.
Number two, you're never going to get. I never heard of this guy because he's probably back from the 1800s. Number two was Red. I can't even pronounce his name. Sean Dienst. Sean
Yeah.
Dienst.
Can't tell you I've ever heard of him.
Yeah. Number six, you might know it, you might not. But when I say the name, you'll know it. Number six.
Stan Musial.
Good guess. Great guess. You got 2 out of 3. That's really good. Okay. Another one, number 9, you're probably not going to get. Enos Slaughter. You ever heard of him?
Never would have heard of him. Never.
Okay. Number 10. Think not a player for the Cardinals.
That'd be a manager? Nah, I would have no idea.
Come on. Tony La Russa.
Okay.
Number 14, you're not going to know. Ken Boyer.
No.
Okay. Number 17, I'm going to give you a clue. Which one would I go with? His last name is a first name, and his last name is the same name as Dean Martin's. So his first name would be blank Dean.
Dizzy Dean, the pitcher.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Number 20 is also a retired number.
I know that one. That's Lou Brock.
Good job.
Yep.
Number 23. Do you happen to know this guy?
I do, actually. It's one of my favorite catchers of all time, Ted Simmons.
Okay. All right. Good job. Since you're looking at the internet.
Whoa. I'm a huge Ted Simmons fan.
Okay. All right. Number 24 is the same scenario as number 10.
No, definitely have no idea.
Not a player.
Definitely have no idea.
He was the manager when in the famous 85 World Series when the Royals beat the Cardinals.
Oh, man, I just talked about this the other day. I should know, and I don't.
Whitey Herzog.
Okay.
Whitey Herzog.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I don't think I would have gotten that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that other than him and Stan Musial, those are the only two I knew. And 42 is Jackie Robinson, and that's retired for the entire Major League. And then number 45, you know who that guy is?
I think I do. Is that a pitcher?
Yep, correct.
Is that Bob Gibson?
Perfect. Good job.
Okay.
So that's all 11 numbers. Now there is one more number retired, but he's not a player. And it's number 85. And that's August Gussie Busch Jr.'s. They gave it to him. That's when he turned 85.
Wow.
Yeah. Then the other cool thing, here's some other legendary things. Out in the outfield, the letters, or maybe it's in more places than that, there's two initials out there. One is for RH. Would you know who that is?
RH. No.
Roger Hornsby.
Okay. I should have known that. Yeah.
Yep. And then the other one is JB. You'll know that, right? Think of announcers.
I'm not familiar with their announcing team.
Jack. This guy was famous. His son made a pretty good name for himself as well.
No.
His son's name still on the air with Troy Aikman.
Oh, really? Huh.
Jack Buck.
Yeah. I didn't know. I knew his dad did baseball. I didn't know he only did Cardinals.
Yeah, he was legendary. I mean, he was probably in the old times, probably one step below, or as well known as Vin Scully, as well known as Harry Carey for the Cubs. So anyway, that was fun, Cray. That was kind of stuff I like. Doing a little bit of trivia, talking about, and I'm not a big Cards fan. I just saw this story about Bill DeWitt got promoted as if that's a big deal. Like there were just people wondering, is he going to get the job? He's the son of the owner. You know, like that's a big story, but they made it a big story.
Yeah.
Okay, so now there's some cool stuff here locally. Last weekend, the Southwest Kansas Storm won the National Arena League Championship. They beat Salina. And from what I understand, United Wireless Arena was pretty much sold out. It was a good game, 42-38.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the Southwest Kansas Storm. Let's hope that trend will continue, that the popularity of the teams, not just in Dodge City, but all over the United States as well, they continue to grow and get more popular, so we can keep having these fun events in local towns like Dodge City and Salina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. And Phil, have you ever went and watched an arena football league
Oh,
game?
yeah. So you've heard me talk about Dale McCoy. His son, Mike, used to be the manager for the arena football team in Wichita. I don't think Wichita has a team anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
But
Fast paced stuff.
these guys get hammered along the sideline.
Yeah.
They get up like nothing happened.
Yeah. It's a little more like a hockey football game because you're getting body checked into the boards.
Yeah, exactly. Think of like a 7-on-7 game.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll jump back to baseball and jump back to Northwest Texas and then jump back to these not the top level professional teams. Amarillo baseball team, professional baseball team. Do you know their nickname or their mascot?
Armadillos?
No.
No idea.
Sod Poodles. Now, who came up with that? The
Well,
Amarillo Sod Poodles.
I think we could do a segment on every
Totally
dumb,
agree. Which is why I
dumb.
wrote this down because I'm like, we need to do that. Have every single crazy name minor league baseball team's mascot.
Yeah.
Because Wichita just changed their mascot. Do you remember what they went from? They were the Wind Surge.
No, I got
I
no
don't
idea.
even know what they changed their name to.
No.
Yeah. So Amarillo lost to the Frisco Rough Riders. Now, the Frisco Rough Riders play in a beautiful stadium in Frisco. It's right across the street from the Star where the Cowboys headquarters are. Beautiful facility. I mean, big stadium. And they packed the house there in Frisco. And Christy and the kids used to live in Frisco. They've moved a little bit to the west to Denton now.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, okay, that's all that. And then you wanted to get to Texas Tech, Brendan Sorsby. He's back in the news, or has he even left the news?
He's never going to leave the news, it sounds like. And I'll make this quick because I know we're running out of time here, Phil. But you almost got to feel bad for this kid at some point.
Almost.
At some point. I understand he dug himself this hole with his gambling. Sure, yeah. At the end of the day, people make mistakes. And I do feel like he should have to pay for his mistakes by not playing college football. But he pulled himself out of college football, is what the reports are saying. He said, look, instead of going through all this war that was happening in college football, I'll pull myself out and avoid it, enter the NFL supplemental draft. Well, the NFL has come out and said, well, we're not going to have a supplemental draft for you. You're going to wait till next year.
And he doesn't get to play college either.
No, he doesn't because he already pulled himself out. Now, is this something we could see where he's going to go to that same judge and say, look, I made a mistake?
Well, but now the Big 12 League is involved, and they're starting to push back, and they filed a complaint against Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would guess if I got to bet money, I'm going to say he doesn't get to play this year at all.
Yeah. I don't know anymore. I would almost make the argument that I think he will play this year.
Okay. Well, that could be another lunch bet.
Yeah. Well, Phil, at this point, it's like that toxic couple in high school that just kept breaking up and getting back together.
Yeah, I was that guy.
Well, yeah, there you go. So,
are you a Seinfeld guy? Are you a Seinfeld?
I'm not a Seinfeld guy.
So, Putty and Elaine, they were that couple. Hilarious episode. One time they're flying in a plane. Passengers in the plane next to each other, and they break up and get back together on the plane, maybe twice on the plane, on the same flight.
This is back-to-back episode. You mentioned Seinfeld.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, Jerry needs a little extra promo.
Yeah.
So, all right, a couple more things real quick. So you brought up K-State recruiting a kid from Lubbock, Tyrone Brown. Have you heard of him?
I have not.
So he picked Texas over K-State.
Okay.
And it's a big deal. They're talking about a huge decision that he made. And here's what I think is interesting. His other two choices over Texas were K-State and Northwestern. That seems to be two parallel opposites. Because don't you have to be like top 10% to go to Northwestern in academics?
I would think so.
So, I mean, that to me says he's a smart kid to be considering Northwestern in terms of academic. But gosh, to pick Texas, I guess Texas is pretty high standards. Not everybody gets accepted into Texas. I don't know if you know that. So maybe that's what it was. And then the last thing, we'll go out on this, and hopefully, Craig, you can show a little short video on this. But this caught my attention because this guy's name is kind of like mine. Macomb is mine. His name is Macon, but when you spell it, it looks Macon. Dylan or Dylan, guess what he does? Guess what he did, Trey?
Pulled a perfect game.
3 times in a row.
3 times in a row.
That's incredible. My dad threw a 299 and he followed it up with he threw a 290 and then he threw a back behind it a 299. And it's like one of the most complicated things to do. This guy threw 40 straight strikes, I think it is. 36. Man. No, sorry. He threw 36 straight strikes. And then it said he threw 3 more balls, strikes before he missed in his 4th game. So
incredible. It is incredible.
Incredible accomplishment to Dylan McCone.
There you go.
44th guy in the history of bowling to do it 44 times or do a straight 3-game 300. That's incredible.
What a way to end the day off.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. Sorry. Hope everybody enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You can't accuse us of not covering a whole range of sports, Craig.
And then we're talking about a kid that just is smart. And you know what, Phil? I don't mean to tear this kid down a little bit, but I don't think it matters that you're smart to go to college anymore. Hey, Arvell Reese that just got drafted 5th overall by the New York Giants, Phil. You want to take a guess what his GPA was in high school? A 0.4.
How much?
A 0.4. 0.4. And then he had some miraculous turnaround and finished his time at Ohio State with academic honors of a 3.7.
Amazing what Sally did for him.
It's incredible what hard work and dedication can do for you when you don't touch a book.
Bet he was in class every day, extra time.
Front row is what I heard. Yeah.
And again, it's a mockery. I believe they've made a mockery out of college. They really have. The student athlete, they just need to quit pretending because they're not students anymore. They're athletes.
Yeah, you're right. But
they're entertainment. They're in the entertainment business only.
Yeah, you're right. But that's the world we're in right now. We'll dive into that another time, Phil. That is going to do it for time right here. Sports Talk and SWKS Radio. I'm Cray.
I'm Phil. Have a great weekend.